I came across this exercise in a work of channeling that I read a long time ago now, but I made a note of it, and I actually haven't tried it. So I'm just wondering what you might think about it. It's an exercise in raising vibrations. So logically, we should just briefly talk about what we mean by vibrations. And as I understand it, and please do your own research on these things, on whatever I present, because I'm not an expert. But as I understand it, we have a frequency, and that is a baseline state of being or level of consciousness that doesn't vary a great deal moment by moment. Certainly it's perhaps we could call it a state of spiritual development, so you can imagine that that would only change over time. Our vibrations, on the other hand, can vary from moment to moment or day to day, and they're dependent on a lot of things. So it could be our state of mind, our emotions at the time, what's going on in our lives, whether we're having enough sleep or the kind of food we're eating. All kinds of things can play into how we are vibrating and at what level we're vibrating. So for doing spell work or magical work or any kind of spiritual work, it does sort of make sense that we would want to raise our vibrations. And is that actually possible in the moment? When I think of doing my own procedures or spiritual work of any kind, I always start with the Kabbalistic cross. And although I don't think of it in terms of raising my vibration, that is kind of what I'm going for. Although it does other things as well, it sets the aura, it's a form of protection too. But I guess raising the vibration is one of the things that you would logically expect it to do. So anyway, with all that said, here's the exercise. So having got into a relaxed state, you would imagine a dial, and although I don't recall it being said where this dial is, I'm sure you could pop it wherever you want to on your body, so perhaps the heart area or the crown area. And this dial is calibrated from 1 to 10 with a little knob somewhere to adjust the calibrations. Now the critical thing is to do this very slowly. You begin to turn the dial upwards. And I think that is the critical thing, is to really take your time and to feel into every adjustment, knowing that you're leaving behind certain negative states or certain, what you might term, negative vibrations. Now, the nature of the exercise suggests that this is something you would certainly be doing over many sessions until you're proficient and can perhaps just drop in to a certain point on the dial whenever you wish to, or, for whatever reason. But I think one of the most important things is to, as you raise that dial, you experience as fully as possible your internal state. So you would pause with each raising of the dial. You would pause at each station to really experience your internal state. And number 10 is to represent your oneness with your holy guardian angel or your higher self, however you want to think about it, which is a pretty lofty place to be. So there it is.